Breaking. Kris Jenner exposed? Shocking allegations. This is crazy. Welcome back to Binge-Worthy Network. Kris Jenner is being exposed and sued by her very own bodyguard. Here's how the momager could end up losing millions of dollars very soon. But before we jump in, hit that like and subscribe button if you love the Kardashian Jenner sisters and want to get all the new updates about the family. A day can't go by without the Kardashians being on the news. And while it's mostly the sisters who end up in headlines, this time all the attention and media craze goes to the momager Kris Jenner. Recently, truly shocking allegations have been made against Kris Jenner, and it's from none other than her personal bodyguard. So if you want to know how Kris Jenner could end up losing millions in legal battles, then make sure you keep on watching. The disturbing news broke out on October 1st. Mark McWilliams, who was Kris's ex-bodyguard, is suing the momager for inappropriate behavior and sexual harassment. Not only is Jenner accused of non-consensual physical contact, but Mark is also suing the millionaire for racial and gender discrimination and wrongful termination. People magazine reported that along with Kris Jenner, Mark McWilliams is also coming against Kourtney Kardashian and his former employer, David Shield Security. The court documents were obtained by the magazine, and the claims state Jenner embarked on a pattern of conduct involving non-consensual physical contact with McWilliams of an appropriate and sexual nature. The former bodyguard also states that this sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior began as soon as he started working for the reality TV family in 2017. Mark also alleges that Kris would often ask him about his personal life, sexual activities, and would even comment on his physical appearance, which made the bodyguard very uncomfortable. The court documents continue to reveal. Between May 2017 and September 12, 2018, defendant Jenner began repeatedly and frequently causing her body to come into intimate physical contact with the body of McWilliams and making overt comments of sexual nature to McWilliams on a repeated basis. According to Mark's lawyers and attorneys, the former Kardashian employee went to his supervisors at David Shield Security as a way to solve the problem from higher-ranking employers. The attorneys confirmed that even though McWilliams has tried to shed light on this issue for months, neither the David Shield Security nor the HR department at the company tried to solve the problem. The documents also show how Mark has exposed his thoughts and feelings to Jenner on multiple occasions. Mark apparently told Kris such misconduct was unwelcome and asked her to cease and desist any such further misconduct. But the bodyguard's request did not work because Kris continued to harass her personal bodyguard. And here is where the story gets truly crazy and unbelievable. Instead of stopping the sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior, Kris Jenner decided to fight back Mark's allegations with her own complaints. According to the court documents, Kris teamed up with the head employers at David Shield Security and created a plan to destroy McWilliams' professional reputation. Attorneys have revealed that Kris Jenner, Kourtney Kardashian, and the security company began a campaign of harassment, intimidation, and further torment. They would often write up Mark's professional behavior with false disciplinary excuses such as tardiness and false claims of a poor attitude. The former bodyguard continues to share how he was often mocked and made fun of in front of his own co-workers and peers, and was often the subject of suggestive, sexual, sexist, racist, and otherwise discriminatory comments. But that's not where the story ends. Are you ready to hear something truly shocking? Okay, here are all the inappropriate things Kris Jenner did that led Mark McWilliams to suing the reality TV mom. The documents report. Kris was repeatedly and frequently causing her body to come into intimate physical contact with his body, massaging his neck, shoulders, arms, and back without consent, causing her hand to rest on his thigh and groin, causing her pelvis to rub against his back and/or rear end without consent or approval, causing her hands to come into contact with his rear end without consent or approval, and exposing portions of her body to plaintiff in a lewd or suggestive manner. If that's not disturbing, absolutely jaw-dropping, and shocking, I don't know what is. And finally, the documents state that as the weeks went on, Mark's working hours became shorter and shorter until he was let go from Kris Jenner, but was still able to work for Kourtney. But after months of legal allegations and serious claims, Mark McWilliams was ultimately fired on September 12th of 2018. But don't think Mark was discouraged by being fired. Oh no! As soon as he was terminated, McWilliams turned to the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, where he filed a formal complaint and claim. The formal documents state that Mark is after one simple thing: The bodyguard believes he is entitled to punitive and exemplary damages in an amount as yet unascertained, but sufficient to punish and make an example of the defendants and each of them. And after months and years of fighting against the Kardashians and Jenners, it looks like Mark finally has an answer from the reality TV family's attorneys. As soon as these allegations became public, Kris Jenner's PR team and legal department were ready to release a thorough statement. With this announcement, Kris hoped that the diehard Kardashian-Jenner fans would take her side and trust her judgment and character. Here's how Jenner's team and Kris's personal lawyer, Marty Singer, responded to these shocking sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior allegations. Kris Jenner and Kourtney Kardashian vehemently deny the completely false claims made by former security guard Mark McWilliams. His absurd allegations are clearly fabricated and are contrary to easily confirmed facts. Kris never acted inappropriately toward him. The security company stopped assigning McWilliams to work there after the guard was repeatedly caught sleeping in his car on the job. Significantly, McWilliams never made any complaints to his employer about Kris until contriving this ludicrous claim a year later. Although Kourtney is named in the suit, she is not accused of doing anything improper, nor did she do so. When Kris and Kourtney defeat this frivolous lawsuit, they intend to immediately sue McWilliams and his attorneys for malicious prosecution. As to why McWilliams was fired here is what Kris's lawyer, Marty Singer, told the Daily Mail. The security company stopped assigning McWilliams to work there after the guard was reportedly caught sleeping in his car on the job. It's not a huge surprise that the Kardashian-Jenners have denied all these allegations. After all, their reputation could never recover if such serious claims turned out to be true. But while Kris Jenner's PR team released an official statement, there is still silence from David Shield Security's side. And while these sexual harassment allegations were truly shocking for some Twitter users found it less than surprising to find out about the legal claims. Here is what people tweeted. So are we going to talk about Kris and Kourtney being sued for sexual assault, creating a hostile work environment and racial discrimination, or y'all gonna keep y'all head up them people's ass? So Kris Jenner and Kourtney K are accused of sexual harassment. And TBH, I wouldn't put it past Kris, especially when she's at her randiest. Gotta say the dude suing them is probably in need of some cash since they fired him. Shaking my head. What next? And lastly, one fan was quick to remind everyone that whether these sexual harassment allegations are true or not, the Kardashians are known for dating and being romantic with their bodyguards. Apparently, Kris and Kourtney both deny initiating sexual harassment charges. However, I do recall Kim actually dating one of her bodyguards. Consensual, of course. Never a good look. Getting involved with support staff, in my opinion, period. Man or woman. Whether you believe these allegations or not, it's no secret that any sort of sexual harassment should be taken seriously. With this new Kris Jenner appropriate behavior claim, we should remember that it's not the first time the Kardashian-Jenners have been sued by past employees and even family members. Many will remember that back in 2017, Blac Chyna filed a lawsuit against Kris Jenner and NBC for the cancellation of her reality show, Rob & Chyna. In the family lawsuit and legal battles, Chyna's attorneys report that there was a substantial amount of racism against Chyna during the filming of the show and thereafter. And some sources report that Kris Jenner was involved as well. But before anything is made official, we must always look at both sides of the coin. But what do you think? Do you believe Jenner's ex-bodyguard, Mark McWilliams? Are Kris Jenner and Kourtney Kardashian guilty of sexual harassment? Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications and share this video with your friends. Goodbye, fam.